well, when I was still in high school, I was getting my plumber's license at Northeast Vocational Tech. Then I went to UMass Lowell for engineering, and I was still doing night school to get my plumber's license. After my first 2 semesters at college, I went to New Zealand. I saved enough money to go down there for a 3-week trip, and I ended up winning every event in those 3 weeks and got enough prize money to extend my trip for 3 months. So I flew home the day before I was supposed to start my first semester of my sophomore year in college. I talked to my mother and was like, listen, I want to chase snowboarding. And she said, if you have a dream, go for it. She also said, you shouldn't have went to college for a year. You should have just did this in the first place.
Gotcha!
I said, Jonathan, college is always there. You're a plumber. You always have something to fall back on. If this is your dream, you go for it, you chase it. You follow your dreams and your passion. And he's been doing it ever since. And we're very, very proud parents.
I loaded up a car and I drove west to Park City, Utah to stay at a friend's house for the winter. After that, realized how much I loved it. And I made the U.S. snowboard team in January of 2005. We're going to Irontown Diner in Saugus, and one of my favorite places to eat. Standing room only. Down to do coffee real quick, or do I have time for that? Every time I'm here, I love diner breakfast. And one thing I really miss living in Europe is...
You don't get that in Austria?
No. I mean, there's a Dunkin' Donuts at the airport, but besides that, a lot of people in my position kind of forget how lucky they are. You know, I've been doing this for 12 years, and I'm still blown away every time I'm in Switzerland, and we have a view of like Sion at the bottom of the valley, but we're 2,000-3,000 meters up the mountain. I don't care if we have bad internet at a hotel, but I'll hear my roommate complaining, like, why don't we have any internet anymore? I'm like, we travel the world and snowboard, and you're complaining that there's no internet or that your bags were delayed. Like, really look at the situation you're in right now. And so I love it. Whether we're on a small hill in Siberia or in the Swiss Alps, like, everything about it is amazing.
When my mother told me, she's like, oh, Jonathan Cheever's coming with us. I'm like, really? Like, that's awesome, you know what I mean? Now it's like, how do I sponsor you? Like, I want Irontown Diner on your back. Make the city proud, everybody proud around here. I mean, that's awesome. We need something like that around here. Thank you. Congratulations, brother. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Saugus is a small enough community. Everybody knows everybody, and I love the community. And, I mean, look where I grew up. I'm legitimately a stone throw from Route 1, but it's a little oasis. My parents did a good job. We have a nice backyard. My brother and I were able to play, and then I did all the local sports growing up. So, I love being from here. I love being home. This is where I grew up. I loved being around my family. Played baseball, did Little League, did ice hockey, did everything growing up, and yeah, I wouldn't trade it in for anything. This was my home, and it still is. When people ask me where you're going this weekend, I always told them I was going home. I never said I'm going back to Massachusetts. So, yeah, I guess I still consider this my house.
When we moved here, when we were looking for a home, we were looking to go north. All I wanted was a driveway, a fireplace, and a window over my kitchen sink. From the moment I walked in the door, I knew it was my home. I just knew this is exactly where I wanted to be. And I felt home.
This photo here is from Kowloon, New Zealand, when I was 19 or 20 years old. This is from my first years in Park City when I was riding half pipe. It's kind of weird to have pictures of myself on my wall, but since I moved out, My dad was really cool. He built us a tree house. We had a zip line that went across the yard, and we had a trampoline at the back of the yard that sometimes would drag as close to the fence as possible and try to jump over the fence into the pool. Surprised none of us killed ourselves, actually, looking back on it.
We've always encouraged them in everything, whatever they wanted to do. And Jonathan has tried it all. There is not a sport that he didn't try, but his passion was always that snowboarding. And his passion was, Mom, one of these days I'm going to get to the Olympics. I am going to get to the Olympics. And here we are. But he's always believed it. So.
Yeah, my mother's always been 100% supportive of everything that I've ever tried, whether it was, baseball or karate or snowboarding. And not only that, she's always pushed me in a very positive way to do the best I can, but at the same time, she's always believed that there's nobody better. Which, realistically speaking, yeah, there's people that play baseball better than me, but at the same time, yeah, that has definitely been great to have someone that's always behind me, no matter what my decisions are, and what I pursue.
I remember there were people that said, someone that said, well, where's snowboarding going to get him? Well, this is where I got him. Olympian.
It's not a sport that one's going to make a ton of money doing. It's just the whole sliding sideways on ice on a piece of plastic is just very, I don't know, it's a thrill that I can't describe. If somebody's never been in love, you can't tell them what being in love is like. It's something you got to feel, and that's how I feel about snowboarding.
What does it mean for you to have raised an Olympian?
Well, maybe he can make a living on his own now.
Ma, come on.
I couldn't be any prouder. This kid has worked from the time he first stepped in with snowboard to today.
I think his head's where it's supposed to be right now. He knows he's fast. He believes he's the best in the world, so.
And we believe in him. So he has his family, his friends, and most importantly, he believes in himself.
The Olympics I just try to treat like any other event. Yeah, there'll be more extracurriculars with opening ceremonies and everything else, but it's, at the end of the day, I'm just snowboarding. The only thing I really need to do is make sure I have, my snacks that I have at the top of the mountain, and everything is just routine. Oh, he's just getting that shot. He's like on the phone doing it.
See, how's everything?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, what's going on? He's been coming. He's the man. We love him. Since he was a kid, yeah. That's awesome, yeah. Was he like running around here? He was always running around, jumping in the pool. Right over here, this is it. We're honored to have this. We're so happy for you.
Yeah,
We're all pulling for you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So everyone looks at it now after that globe. Like, yeah, he's like, grew up in Saugus.
I would say as far as my preparation goes, I'm already prepared for the Olympics. It's just the normal routine. Get in the gym a couple times for some maintenance. I have 3 World Cups leading up to the Olympics. I'm not sure which ones I'll compete at yet because the focus is Olympic gold. I think I'm ready. The preparation's already there. The groundwork's laid. It's just maybe fine-tune everything and be the fastest one down the hill. As far as the injuries I've had, it's been, I don't know how many orthopedic surgeries right now, 7 or 8. And the recovery is, I don't know if natural is the best way to put it, but just being in the position I'm lucky enough to be competing for the U.S. snowboard team, everything is a routine. It's your physical preparation, your ability preparation, and then your mental preparation. And breaking from that routine is more difficult than staying in it. So recovering from an injury is part of that physical preparation. The most painful injury I've had emotionally was the Achilles, because that is very invasive surgery. That's going from like not even be able to walk or weight bearing. Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse said pain don't hurt. Pain does hurt, but it's always in the past. In my 20s, it was more ignorance than anything else where I ignored it, but now sometimes it's pain management. Now, I'm smarter about my training, if that makes any sense. I kind of learned that if I just, ride my fastest with the tools I have, I'm in the mix, no matter what. And so I don't need to try to pull some crazy move or do something drastically different. Just gotta do what I do, execute, and the result will come. In my sport in general, having a nice balance mentally helps me, and that's how I relax and how I perform. And I noticed that with all the top dogs. I have afforded myself to think about life beyond the Olympics, but do I have a hard plan? No. I mean, I'm eventually going to reach a fork in the road. I don't think it's after 2018. I don't plan on this being my the end of my career. I want to keep going. So my life after the Olympics is, I'll hang out with my family in South Korea. God willing, it's a gold medal tour afterwards, but my next event's March 1st in La Molina, Spain, so I'm going to try to win that as well.
How is he as a plumber?
He's probably a little out of practice right now.